When Daniel arrived at the familiar gate, his heart pounded in his chest. The memories of his time there, the scolding, the cold stairs, the nights he cried himself to sleep, rushed back like a flood. But he took a deep breath and whispered, Lord, give me the strength to do this. He knocked twice, and after a moment, the gate creaked open. Aunt Funke stood there, her face a mixture of surprise and unease. What are you doing here? She asked sharply. I came to say thank you, Daniel said, his voice steady, and Funke blinked, clearly taken aback. Thank you? For what? For what? For everything, Daniel replied. I know it wasn't easy taking care of me after my parents died. I'm grateful for what you did, even if it wasn't perfect. And Funke stared at him, speechless. For a moment, her hardened exterior cracked, and Daniel thought she saw tears forming in her eyes. Before she could respond, Uncle Ade appeared behind her. Daniel, he said, his tone softer than Daniel remembered. You've grown. Yes, sir, Daniel said, offering a small smile. Uncle Ade stepped forward and extended a hand. Come inside. Inside, the atmosphere was tense but not hostile. Daniel shared how he had been doing, about Femi's kindness, and how he had found work at the workshop, and how he has been learning in the workshop over the years. And Funke sat quietly, listening but saying little. At the end of the visit, Daniel stood to leave. I just wanted to say I forgive you, he said, looking directly at Aunt Funke, and I pray God blesses your family. For the first time, Aunt Funke's stoic expression crumbled. She looked down, unable to meet his gaze. As Daniel walked away, he felt a weight lift off his shoulders. It wasn't about whether Aunt Funke accepted his forgiveness or not. It was about releasing himself from the chains of bitterness. Femi was waiting for him at home. How did it go? He asked. Daniel smiled, a genuine peace radiating from his face. It wasn't easy, but I feel free. Months after Daniel's visit to his aunt and uncle, life began to unfold in unexpected ways. At Mr. Okoro's workshop, Daniel had become one of the most skilled apprentices, earning the trust of clients and admiration from his peers. His faith and humility shone through everything he did and became clear to everyone that there was something special about him. One day, Mr. Okoro approached Daniel with an offer that caught him off guard. Daniel, he began, I've been watching you this past month. Your dedication, your honesty, it's rare. I'm getting older and I've been praying about who might take over this business when I retire. I believe you are the one. Daniel's jaw dropped. Sir, I, I don't know what to say. I don't think I'm ready for something like that. Mr. Okoro chuckled. That is exactly why I know you are ready. You understand that it's not about power but responsibility. I'll train you over the next year and then the workshop will be yours. Daniel couldn't believe it. The boy who had been cast out as a burden was now being entrusted with a legacy. News of Daniel's success reached Auntie Funke and Uncle Ade through mutual acquaintances. At first, Aunt Funke dismissed it. It's just lucky, she muttered, though her voice lacked conviction. But as the months went on, the stories became impossible to ignore. One evening, as she sat alone in the living room, Aunt Funke's thought turned inward. She had always resented Daniel, seeing him as a reminder of her struggles and failures. But now, she couldn't shake the feeling that she had been wrong. Maybe, she whispered to herself, I missed out on a blessing. Uncle Ade entered the room, hearing her words. We both did, he said quietly. Daniel was never a burden. He was a gift, Funke, and we failed him. And Funke wiped a tear from her cheek, her heart heavy with regret. One Sunday, as Daniel sat in church with Femi, he was surprised to see two familiar faces walk in, Aunt Funke and Uncle Ade. They spotted him almost immediately and hesitated before approaching. Daniel, Aunt Funke began, her voice trembling. We we heard about what you've been doing. I just wanted to say I'm sorry for everything. Daniel looked at her, his eyes filled with compassion. I forgave you a long time ago, he said softly. Uncle Ade stepped forward. We were wrong, Daniel. But seeing how you've turned out, we know now that you were never the problem. You were the blessing we didn't recognize. Tears filled Aunt Funke's eyes as she said, I am proud of you. For Daniel, it wasn't just about hearing the apologies. It was about seeing how God had walked through his pain to bring about healing and restoration. Later that evening, as Daniel sat with Femi, he reflected on everything that had happened. It's amazing, he said, how God can turn even the worst situations into something beautiful. I used to think my suffering was pointless, but now I see it was all part of his plan. Femi nodded, smiling. God always works for the good of those who love him, Daniel, and you have been faithful, even when it wasn't easy. As Daniel prayed that night, he felt a deep sense of gratitude. The boy who had been rejected and cast aside was now thriving, surrounded by love and purpose. And he knew, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that God had been with him every step of the way. If you have enjoyed the story, please subscribe to the channel and let's know in the comment section if you want Daniel to return on your screen or not. Thank you for watching.